Welcome to the Unlocking Senior Resources podcast by Leave the Key. I'm Larry Wagner, and I've spent 30 years working with seniors, where I was a certified senior advisor, and the last 15 years in the home buying industry as a certified senior transition specialist, where I specialize in dealing with seniors going through a transition in their lives. This podcast is for seniors, those with seniors they love, and people who work in the senior community. In each episode, we bring on a guest who works to improve the lives of seniors. This podcast is your key to unlocking senior resources. Welcome. Today we're here with Barbara Feldman from A New Start. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. The company is A New Start New York.
Oh, I forgot that
Inc.
part.
Yeah, no, when I started 18 years ago, I was thinking this was going to be a franchise, which never happened because I had too much going on here. So that's why it is A New Start New York.
New York. So if you were doing a franchise, would you not have had I said
I could have made it A New Start LA, A New Start Georgia, A New Start like that.
See.
But in reality,
yes.
I'm segueing a little, but yes. I belong to the National Association of Senior Move Managers,
right,
which I am an A+ member.
There you go.
And in that, I know people all over the country. So I didn't have to reestablish myself because I know people that do what I do around the country.
Right.
So I can work with them.
Yep.
Which is really good.
That's usually what we do. Networking is so critically important.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy houses basically downstate New York, but all over New York and renovate them. We typically buy from senior citizens, but people call us from all over the country for assistance.
Yeah.
And I know people all over the country that not always, but oftentimes enough, because of networking, I could recommend somebody who's worthwhile and honorable and so on. Mm-hmm. It's all about networking.
And that's how I met you, it was, if you remember,
I remember.
It was like a perfect situation.
It was, but let's not go there yet. You know why? I want to let people know exactly what you do.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's get to that part first.
So I love what I do, which is like really important. I love what I do because I help people.
I can't tell.
I help people, which is something, like that's part of my DNA.
Yep.
So, I heard about this industry, move management for seniors. And I said, get out. I've personally moved 24 times.
Yourself?
Myself. I'm not in the military.
Right.
In my life before I started this, I worked in technology. And I started out in 1980 selling wire and cable in New York City.
Just like working with seniors.
Just like completely wire and cable. Yeah. And so I did very well here in New York, and then they moved me 24 times. So I moved to California, and they'd move me to an area, and I'd set up a branch, and I'd hire people, and then I'd move on.
Oh, I see.
So I moved a lot, and then I moved my family. My son, who's in Colorado, will never move again. But so I moved a lot. So moving was like second nature, and I was born an organizer. It's just who I am. When I was growing up, I shared a room with my sister, and I was always neat. And my father knew when there was a mess on the floor, it was my sister's. He took it and he yelled at her, and that was good. So,
this really is in your DNA.
It is in my. So I was born an organizer, and then I heard about this industry, move management for seniors.
Right.
I said, get out. And I've always volunteered. I've always helped people.
Right.
So I said, I could do that with my eyes closed, help people and downsize.
Right.
And so I quit my job, and this was 2007.
Oh, gosh.
And if you remember, the markets fell out.
I was a financial advisor at that time. Oh, yeah, I remember really well.
Lehman was one of my clients when I used to sell wire and cable and electronics. Yeah. So the markets fell out, and I decided to open a business. And my father said to me, he was, rest his soul, he was alive and well, and he said, he said, "You're out of your mind. You're going to start a business now and the world is falling apart." Right. I said, yeah. So I just saw that this is such a need. People are overwhelmed, particularly when you get older. You don't know where to begin. Their families are overwhelmed. So I took the chance and I named the company A New Start New York. So it's positive because moving is like awful.
Right.
And my father looks at me and he says, "No, it should be the Jewish way. New Start." So I spell it ANUSTART.
A new start.
A new start. New, like what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. So and
that plays on Long Island.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't understand the Jewish way, it's still a new start.
Correct.
Anywhere you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I try to help people with that. It is overwhelming, and many people, particularly older people, don't want to leave their home.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, they don't want to leave their home, and the thought of any kind of change is just terrifying to them. So I try to recreate their home. Right. Take the things that are most important to them and recreate it on the other end. We do floor plans. We help them distribute things that they don't want, that maybe their family wants, and then we sell things for them. And we donate for them, and we dispose, and we pack if they're moving. Right. And I'll get them a mover, and then we unpack and we hang their art and clean out their current home so that they could give it to Larry. Right. and move on.
That's so your start to finish, the whole process.
Start to finish. Yeah.
That's so wonderful because two things. One is, in my own home, I moved from my house to an apartment behind my house to make room for my daughter's family who moved into my house. I replaced my wife's parents as the grandparents in the apartment. I say my wife and I replaced. It took me most of a year to get my wife, who really wanted to make this move, to really get up and moving and so on. It was so traumatic. And we literally moved to the other side of a wall, right? We still own the house, still the same backyard and everything. But
you didn't need a moving truck.
Didn't need a moving truck. We actually hired movers to carry our stuff downstairs. That was it. And we also downsized. We went from 2,500 square feet to 1,200 square feet. So we had to consolidate and dispose of. We had an attic full of 40 years worth of stuff. We had to get rid of that stuff, of which, by the way, if you store stuff in an attic, just try to throw it out before you put it in the attic.
Attics and basements.
It just stays there forever. Especially at our attic, you need a ladder and go through the little hatch in the ceiling. That's not like walking down to a basement. That requires real effort. My son came over one day and helped me clean out. One day, about 3 days. I think we kept less than 2 or 3% of all the things we touched. I mean, why was it there for 40 years? So not everything was there 40 years because we accumulated over 40 years. But it was just so frustrating.
People can't part with their stuff.
And we're no different.
No, nobody's in. Yeah. So I'm a big Broadway fan, and I'm so proud of myself. I threw out my playbills.
Oh, there you go.
I'm so proud of myself. What I did, in case you want to know how to do it, you take pictures of all of them.
That's my sister said.
So that you still have the memory. Right. You just don't have the thing.
Right. All my cassette tapes from college, the music on cassette tapes, about 5 years ago, 7 years ago, we were cleaning out the house, and I said I'm going to throw them all out, like hundreds of them, and they're college. They're college to me is the music, and they serve no purpose. I'm never going to listen to them. Taking a picture wouldn't have worked in that case.
No.
But my sister does that with things all the time.
Yeah.
She'll take pictures.
Did you transfer the music to something?
I don't listen to music anymore anyway. So I don't ever, literally never. Okay. So I didn't need them, but it just was the feeling that I'm throwing out part of my life, the 4 years of college, because I never listened to music before or after. Right. So those really represent those, but what it represents is one thing. I remember college otherwise.
It's just
and that's what people need to do.
Yeah, it is, but it's hard. So I had this woman that I moved years ago, and I'll never forget this. We're in her basement, and she finds a bundt pan.
Go ahead.
Okay. So she's like in her 80s. She's not baking.
Right.
And it was in her basement for 40 years, and she hadn't seen it. And I said, well, let me like repurpose it. I'll give it to somebody who could use it. Oh no, I need that. I mean, it was so traumatizing for her because it must have represented something. So, that's okay. You just can't keep all of it. You know, like, so you kind of have to do, initially you do a sweep, say, okay, we use color codes to try to get people to part with things. Okay. And I say, green goes with you, like a traffic stickers? Light. Okay. Stickers, green goes with you, like a traffic light goes with you. And then the other colors could be for family or for whatever. But you first do a sweep and then after that go back. Right. And keep going back and keep going back.
Correct. You have to sort through the same stuff. Every time you run something through a filter, you get more of the waste out. Yeah. The same thing happens. Yeah. Two stories.
You have to stay in that area. Correct. Get through it. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Two stories. Just one has nothing to do with anything except baking and a senior citizen. My mother one day comes over to my house. We're very close to my parents. And she comes over with a bag of flour. And she says to my wife, I'm not baking anymore. And my wife says, and she was a baker. And she did all the cooking. She prepared for all the holidays and everything else. And she slowly, systematically gave up those responsibilities as she aged. So I decided, I'm not baking anymore. Here's my flour. Here's my bun pan. And here, I'm done. And she just parted with everything that way.
How wonderful.
Which is very funny. And she never baked again. She wasn't kidding. But
that's wonderful. She was able to let it go.
It was no problem.
And repurpose it to somebody that she wanted to give it to.
My wife used it.
And your wife took it.
Yep.
That's great.
But it was just a fun way she did. She goes like, you're now in charge of all the baking for the family.
That's great.
So it worked out well.
Good legacy.
A good legacy. And the other thing was, but this is not a funny story. This is happening right now. We're dealing with a hoarder. And we're buying this hoarder's house. She keeps pushing the closing off by weeks at a time, which I expected. And she wants to bring in, we have a company that does cleanouts. When you have a company that does cleanouts, the person leaves, what's ever left behind, they clean out an entire house in hours. Yeah. She wants us to bring in a cleanout company. And she says when they clean out an area, they'll sort of unearth a section of the house. She'll start going through that stuff. I said, you can't do that. You're going to be so traumatized watching all your stuff go into a dumpster, literally your whole life's worth of stuff. And I'm really trying to advise her against that. You can't make decisions as fast as 4 guys picking up as much stuff as they can carry or filling garbage cans and dragging them out to the dumpster. And I'm trying to explain to her, this is not emotionally sound. And I assume you agree with that, the way you're nodding your head.
Yeah. No, I've dealt with, I think hoarders are fascinating. Yes. I had the first guy I worked with on 59th Street. He had like 8-foot ceiling, 7.5 feet of stuff. Yeah. And there was actually furniture underneath.
Yes.
I was there one day and working with him, and I said I was going to like a 40th birthday party. Right. He said, wait. And in the middle of all of these
2 feet
things,
down from the top,
he found a 40th birthday card, a blank 40th birthday card to give me to take with me.
Oh my God.
It is, it's just amazing.
Kind of a crazy genius going on.
Yeah, it's like an OCD, but it is. But, maybe if you could get her just to go in there and tell her she has to pick out what she wants now from the top.
I sent an organizer in there.
Yeah.
Vinny, who we know.
Oh, yeah.
He was in there for 2 days, 16 hours of time. Yeah. He could only go there 4 hours at a time. Right. It was so exhausting for her.
Oh, sure.
How could you have 4 people do this? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. We usually work in 4-hour increments because it's too much for anybody to do.
It is. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. I know going through the house, I tell my wife when we went through our house, let's pick the top shelf of the hall closet. Let's do that tonight. It's very finite. If we clean that out, tomorrow we'll do the next shelf in the hall closet. Then let's go through the shoe rack on there. And if you do this one thing a day, and you do this for 6 months, that's 108. You don't have 108 spaces in your house. Yeah. And I tried to explain that, and we could never get the ball rolling until we finally had to do it. And then it was helter-skelter and chaos.
It's overwhelming.
And it was overwhelming. Yeah. And we only moved from here to here. Not from here to...
That's when you call in help.
That's when you call in help.
Yeah.
My son and his girlfriend, they live abroad much of the time.
And they came in just to do that with us. They came in, they were in South America at the time.
That's
and they
a good
came
son.
up. Yes, he is. And he's my business partner. And they came
I
up.
met him.
Right. They came up to help us because they knew and every day his girlfriend would write up a schedule of what we had to get done for that day because she knew we weren't going to do it on our own. So I understand.
You need help. And you got help.
And I got help. And we're all the same way. So many of us are the same way. Not all.
People just don't like change.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like to part with their stuff, because it has like that bunt pan had a meaning for that woman. She hadn't seen it in 40 years, but it brought back, I don't know, maybe cakes or parties or something, but it has an attachment, but it's the memory. It's not the thing.
I agree. And that's where the picture comes in.
Yeah.
That's where the picture comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So we now know what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so you talked about your beginning, how you got to where you are. But do you have specific? And that's a great. I love when people tell stories about who they work with. That's a great story. You have others like that you can share because they're so relatable.
Okay,
like
so I told you about the bunt pan.
Yeah,
yeah. I told you about.
Mention if you want the story I interrupted you about before when we first worked together the first time.
We were the two, and honestly, I met with my financial planner this morning and I told her that she should know you guys because she specializes in divorce and she comes across people all the time that are in situations where, So I go to a divorce group. It's professionals dealing with divorced people. Mm-hmm. So, that's, I think, a really good avenue. But we worked together. It was like absolutely
kismet. Yeah.
It was kismet.
Yeah.
Beschert.
Yeah, Beschert. Yeah.
That I had just left a client and he was in from Canada. That was
the very west coast of Canada.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seems that in Canada and America, it's hard to transfer money. Mm-hmm. So he moved his mom out of the house and he moved her to assisted living. Yep. And then he had to deal with the house. Right. And he couldn't deal with a real estate broker and he just really needed to get rid of the house. Yep. So he said that to me and I left him and I go to this meeting and there you are.
Right.
And I forget who had introduced me to you.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
But you have someone that means you said.
We have a lot of friends in there.
We do.
Yeah.
And you said, what do you do? And I told you and I pointed to my shirt.
And I said, hang on. And I got on the phone. Yep. I got on the phone and you went the next day and
you got on the phone. You said, talk to Larry here. And there was music playing and I had to go into the hallway and pacing up and down. I must have put in a mile during that call. And we spoke for about 10, 15 minutes. The next day, that was a Thursday. Friday, I met him, and Monday we were in full contract, and Tuesday he was on the plane, and he left.
How perfect.
And he knew the house was sold.
He was so happy.
Yes.
He was so happy. And then that other woman that she had, and this is another avenue, because she has an adult child that was difficult.
Yes.
And that does happen a lot.
Yes.
Where the adult children are still with their parent, and the parent doesn't know what to do because it's time for them to move.
Right. Yep.
The kid is the adult child, the 50s.
Yes.
Isn't helping at all.
I think that's being really polite.
Yeah.
Not helping.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, she was fearful of him.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get him to move and he didn't have a career or any money.
Yeah.
So this was a perfect situation.
Yep. We were able to, let's just say, everything worked out in the end. So we were able to get the house, get her out. She actually moved into the same independent living as my in-laws. I see her all the time. She adores my granddaughter. I have a special needs granddaughter. And every time I speak to her, she asks me about my granddaughter.
Wonderful.
And whenever I come over, I make sure I bring my granddaughter to her apartment. She's right below my in-laws. So, and we remain friends.
The Brandywine?
Yeah, no, Chelsea.
But Brandywine.
Brandywine, my parents were. She never went to, she didn't go to Brandywine.
Oh.
She changed and went to Chelsea and Plainview.
Yes,
Chelsea, she was going to Brandywine.
Somerset.
No, Somerset's a different one. Brandywine's on Gerhardt Road. Yes.
The residence.
The residence.
Okay.
What did I say? But no, I'm sorry. The residence. She went.
Yeah.
Brandywine's in Melville. She was going to go there.
Right.
She ended up going to the residence.
Yeah.
This is Chelsea is the name of it.
Yes.
At there and
Chelsea Senior Living.
Chelsea Senior Living, and she's happy there. But we remained friends since. So that worked out very nicely.
It's a wonderful place. I think that's a great place.
It is very nice. It's very, very nice.
Yeah.
So that was another happy ending.
Yeah. And we're so happy when we have happy endings because really I'm doing this 18 years and there's so many stories.
I'm doing it 17 years. So you beat me by a year.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Larry.
And I'm Ben. We're the father and son team of Leave the Key Home Buyers, and we want to buy your house.
We specialize in working with seniors who are transitioning out of their homes, and we understand what you were going through.
So if you're considering selling your home and would like an alternative to the traditional overwhelming process, reach out and see how we can help.
Do you have an outdated home?
No need to update anything.
Have a home that needs repairs?
Don't bother with repairs.
Don't want to take everything with you?
Leave whatever you want behind.
Dreading the headaches that come with agents?
Sell your home without paying a commission.
Dreading prying neighbors attending open houses and passing judgment on your home?
No need for public showings.
When you sell to us, you'll have all the certainty of closing on your timeline, not someone else's, and there's absolutely no pressure.
Visit leavethekey.com or call us today for a no-obligation offer at 631-388-7771 if you want to sell your home today.
And I tell people, I was able to retire a long time ago, up until January. From COVID until January, I've been working 90 hours a week, every week. And I do because I love what I do. I can't stop doing it. I'm at a wedding, I'm picking up my phone. I was at a retirement party on Saturday night, I picked up my phone. That doesn't go very well with my wife, understandably so. But I can't get enough of this stuff. And,
I was supposed to sell because I was doing really well. I was going to sell my company and I had it up for sale and I actually had a couple of buyers. And then I decided I could do this. I can do this until I'm old and gray. And
Right.
I'm not old yet.
She, by the way, she's really a brunette. This is a dye job.
Just for today.
You want to get because you want to get more. You want to appear older.
Yeah. So my clients.
That's right.
So it used when I started seriously, I was rent a daughter. Now I'm more like rent a sister or a cousin.
Rent a daughter. That's it.
That's what I used to be when I first started. Yeah.
You don't want to be around long enough where you rent the mom.
No,
that's too long.
No. My clients, I have a lot of people that are 90s and 100.
That's right. That makes you 125 years old.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying because I could do this and I help so many people, and I can still live my life. And, it's all about trying to make a difference in this world.
Correct.
And you're making a difference.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking someone, now you're not finding a place for them to live. They're telling you where they're going.
Generally, there's other people that do that. Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed a number of them on this podcast.
Yeah.
And we know a number of them together.
Yes.
And so those people say, okay, let's get you to Chelsea, for instance.
Yeah.
And
then those people will call me.
you and say, help Mildred, get herself together. I think it seems age appropriate. Help her to get together. Nancy, there you go. Yeah. Get together and get her moving along so she can get from A to B because she can't do it on her own. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there were two of us and we're in our 60s and we couldn't do it. But in the same property, doing it across, and they're scaling from a house, let's say the size of ours, to a space typically smaller than a 1,200-foot apartment. Oftentimes it's just a few hundred feet. So that makes it even harder. We cut in half. Most people cut in by 3/4 or more. And the more you cut back, the harder it is.
But when it boils down to it, what do you really need?
Oh, my son travels most of the time, and they live in a backpack and a carry-on bag.
Yeah, really.
That's it. Yeah.
What do you need?
Right. Mm-hmm. It's true, especially going to a place that's providing food and cooking. You don't need to have all your dishes and your pots and your pans. And I mean, it's so true. You need the pictures on the wall, the clothes in your closet, and a few other things. I'll tell you,
there's so many people I move, and they live in their recliner.
Live in their recliner.
They do. Yep. They go to meals. They go to activities. But other than that, they just live in their recliner.
Right.
Yeah. It's so reality. How much do you need?
Right. So I have a question for you. because I've seen this go both ways, but you've been doing this for 17 years.
18.
18 years. Oh, I'm the 17. Yes, 18 years. I knew one of us was 17 years. Do people typically a new start, New York, do people typically have a new start by buying new furniture when they go to these move, or are they taking their old furniture with them?
Most of the time they take their old furniture with them.
Right.
Or some of it,
right.
because they're comfortable that way with their old stuff. And I encourage people to take what's important. You know, if they're moving to Florida,
it doesn't apply.
So Florida's different.
Yes.
They don't dress like us. They don't use the same kind of furniture.
Right.
They, so I wouldn't, and I don't want to spend other people's money, so I wouldn't encourage them to do that.
Right.
So if they're comfortable with what they have, they might have to buy a new mattress or, something like that, but keep it down. Right.
Also, long distance moves.
Yeah.
It gets more expensive to move that couch.
Oh, yeah.
So the longer you move, the more likely you should buy a new one. But again, I was talking to a financial advisor today, a matter of fact, and I was one. And when I left that business, I really should have one because I took terrible care of my own money, the shoemaker syndrome. So, but I'm looking to make a change. And, I forgot I was going with this. I was saying how the decisions we make are, like in finance, are so emotional, how emotion rules our decision-making process. Mm. No matter how logical you need to be, money's a logical product.
Black and white.
But it's not. It's not when you decide, do I want to do this or do this? This is more expensive, but it'll make me happier. It's no value to anything, but it'll make me happier. That's what you should do if you have the wherewithal to do it, that is, of course. And it's so funny that sometimes people, especially in the older generation, are always looking for the pragmatic use of dollars. And I've been guilty of that up until recently. Mm-hmm. It applies to moving. Is it pragmatic to take your old furniture? Yes, because you want the old shoe, that comfort, that easy chair. You say it that fits
recliner,
me, right? Like Archie Bunk used to say, "Meathead, you sat in my chair. I can tell." Right? You want that old comfortable recliner, mm-hmm. But I think also having this is just me not going through it. Except, I mean, I took my furniture from upstairs to downstairs, but none of it was really. It was all quite new, actually. But I think the idea of starting new as well. It seems like there should be a mix of the new things and the old things, but there's not that much stuff, not that much space, to put new stuff.
No, usually people that are moving, they're moving into a smaller space. I mean, I do have some people upsizing and then they'll buy, but usually they're moving to a smaller space and cut it down. I mean, really, as you get, the kids are grown, right? It's different when it boils down to it, how much do you need? Right?
This much of what we own.
Yeah.
When I was in my first career after college, it was in the 1980s, I owned a custom cabinet shop. And I would deal with people moving to like Searingtown, these new condos that were built in the 80s up and down Searingtown Road and so on. And they're moving to these 3,500-foot condos, leaving their 1,700-foot house. Said, you're old. They were younger than me probably now, but they seemed old then because I was much younger. And I would say at this stage in your life why would you want to move to a bigger place? And they say, you think family gets smaller as the kids move out, but it gets bigger because they come back with the grandkids, the spouse and the grandkids. But they don't live here.
Right.
We still need room for them. Okay. And so when I know I was building a 6,000-foot house for him and his wife, that when each of the kids come back with this, they have two kids. When each of them come back with their significant others and their grandchildren, by the way, neither of them are married, they'll have place to stay.
Oh, my goodness.
So 6,000.
Do they want to adopt?
Do they want to adopt? The guys, they're my age. And I don't want to live in 2,500 feet, let alone 6,000 feet. I don't get it.
The maintenance, keeping up a house, besides all the taxes, the maintenance and things go wrong all the time. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's not
even if you have unlimited resources, you still have to take care of it, or pay somebody to take care of it.
That goes back to unlimited resources.
Yeah,
but it's just the stress, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. As a house flip, we just bought a house in East Setauket on the water, 10,000 square feet. What do you need to? We bought it because we're going to fix it up and sell it. But why does
who was living there?
A couple.
A couple.
Yes. Yeah, I think he used to have two kids. a couple. 10,000. But it was 108 if they have 2 staircases. If there's only 1 staircase, I do it every episode. I do that. That's banging the microphone, by the way. It was 180 feet to go from the den across the house, up the stairs then down the hall to the master bedroom. Thank God they put a back staircase in to shorten that. It was been a 180-foot walk. Could you imagine 180-foot walk within your house? Honey, I'm going to sleep now. Goodbye. While the husband's down watching TV. Right. 180 feet later, you're in bed. I don't know.
See ya.
Yeah. So,
right.
Different strokes. But
I could do a studio now at this point in my life. Really.
Yeah, yep.
Well, having moved 24 times.
That's crazy.
Personally.
Yes.
I haven't moved in many years now. I'm in my house 23 years or something like that.
I've been to your place. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's absolutely. Yeah. But I could live in a studio.
There you go.
At this point. Really. How much do you need?
Right. I've been to your place. There's nothing out except a few things you want out.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not filled with clutter. And
you didn't see my basement, though.
I didn't see your basement.
That's my and I challenge anybody to come to my basement because I have a full basement and really all that's down there is the washer dryer. I have a card table and 4 chairs. That's it. In case anybody ever comes down there.
Right.
But I'm so proud of my basement.
No stuff.
No stuff.
That's worthy of mention. So you really know how to pare it down. Was your whole life without stuff?
No.
Or just each time you moved back to that sieve?
Each time I moved, you got rid of. But I'm not a shopper.
Right.
I'm not into stuff. In fact, it was my mother was a shopper.
Right.
And my sister and I are not.
Right.
And she kept trying. She kept trying with me, with my sister. And then my brother got married. She tried with his wife. And then the youngest one, finally she made some. But my mother would shop, and even like when and she couldn't find anybody to go with her or do, it's just stuff has never been my thing.
No. Me too. I'm a woodworker. I like tools. Okay. Other than that, the only shirts I've gotten in the last 7 or 8 years are, they don't say this on them. I haven't gotten one. I'm pointing to my logo. I mean, what do I need? I don't know. Right. I'm a Kohl's discount rack kind of shopper anyway. So it costs more money to have my pants put up than the actual cost of the pants. Because being a short guy, everything gets put up. But so you, as you said, back to your comment, it's in your DNA. Everything you say really is, you like helping the senior citizens. You're now one of the senior citizens.
Yeah, I am.
Because that's why you change your hair color to make everyone make it convincing. And and you are naturally a person who knows how to divest.
I was born this way.
You were born this way.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So that is a key factor.
Right.
I mean, I do this for a living.
Yes.
But I was born this way.
Yes.
Really. It's innate.
So it's innate. So it's natural to you, and you get tremendous satisfaction out of it. Everybody I interview gets tremendous satisfaction out of what they do. Because everyone I interview deals with in the senior community. Yeah. And everyone does it to make a living, but they do it out of a passion. At this stage in our lives, it's more the passion than the living. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are young and they don't have the option. Mm-hmm. They have to do something, but at least do something you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. And I just watched one of the podcasts I had done. I watched them I try to learn and get better each time. And I said to the person that I've always had a passion. I've had 3 unique careers, unique from each other careers. And I've been passionate about every one of them, not one more than the other. And there are people who go for the whole lives and have jobs and never have a career.
So I said I used in my life before I did this. Yeah. I started out in 1980. Mm-hmm. I'm dating myself, selling wire and cable. Yeah. The guy that hired me said, "You can't do this. Right. There's no women in this industry." Right. And he hired me on a bet. Uh-huh. And then on a bet. He was the he interviewed me and the CEO, between him and the CEO. Right. So then they send me out to train with this guy. Right. And I meet this guy. This is 1980. I meet this guy. I had Manhattan. I had 5th Avenue from 34th Street up, and he had 34th Street down. So I met him on the corner of 34th and 5th. He meets me and he says, "You're a girl?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "I'm not wasting my time." And he left me on the corner. So let me throw in like what life used to be like.
Right.
Left me on the corner.
1980 is not ancient history to us.
No, it's not.
That's the year I started my business too.
It's not.
Yeah.
But he refused to teach me because I would be a waste of time.
Right.
Okay. So I had to figure it out myself. And I did. I had no idea what I was selling.
Right.
You know, the guy that hired me was for wiring cable. And I said, he says, "What do you know about wiring cable?" I said, "Tell me the difference. I'll give you an answer." "I don't know."
Right.
And he says, "What do you know about computers?" This is 1980.
Right. Yes. I didn't have a computer in 1980.
I said, "I've played Pac-Man."
Right.
I don't know anything.
Right.
And he hired me seriously on a bet. Really.
He was taking the you're going to lose bet and the
and I had and I didn't know, so I walked into Warner Brothers in Rockefeller Center.
Is that your first appointment?
I walked in. I had no idea what I was doing, what I was selling. And I walked in and I met this wonderful man who has since passed. Because so you go to the receptionist, and this is 1980.
Right.
Where's the computer room? And they look at you like, "Oh God, no, get away from me."
Yeah.
So they send me into the basement and I meet this guy, Joe. And I had no idea what I was selling, but I said, "Yeah, look at this stuff. Do you have any use for it?" And that was coax, which has since been replaced with Twisted Pair. And Warner was, and then it became Time Warner later. And they were one of my biggest accounts, and Rockefeller Center was one of my biggest accounts, and on from there. I was
waiting to hear the story that you ended up replacing the other person taking over his territory. That's where I wanted the story to go.
Oh, he finally left. He finally left.
Were you out selling him?
Yeah. Well, they moved. I did so well that they moved me to California to pioneer out there because there was nobody out there.
They didn't move him. They moved you.
They moved me. Yeah.
They wasted time with a girl.
Yeah. They wasted time with a girl. I did very well for them.
When I had my cabinet shop, I was one of the few cabinet shop owners that hired women. I had 3 women at one point in my shop there were 30 of us.
Yeah.
That's not fair. 2 of them secretaries, so there were 5 women, but 3 in the shop out of like 27 people in the shop. There were 3 of them women, which was a huge percentage back then. And
so, go ahead, challenge me for something. My dad said I could do it.
That's right.
Yeah. Gabe said I couldn't do it. Right. So go ahead.
The more they tell you can't do something, that's my wife. My wife always has to push me that way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to get this done today. She knows, then I'll do it. If she says, "Can you please do this today?" I won't do it. Says, "You can't do it," then I will. So I'm like you. We need that challenge. We need that challenge.
Works.
So question for you, sort of back to business, if you will.
Yes.
I enjoyed. This is a very enjoyable conversation.
Yeah,
we're very, very relatable.
I agree.
And we go back, a bit, and we've done business together, but we never had this kind of conversation. But and I could do this for another hour, but that would probably make for a very long podcast. So you're taking people from A to B in the moving process and holding their hand the entire way.
Yes.
And when they get to where they're going, I assume your relationship ends.
Well, we unpack them.
You unpack them. I know you set up hang their pictures.
Get them all set up.
Right.
And unless they need us to come back and downsize some more or something.
That's what I was wondering. Do they ever have you come back further and say?
Yeah, because they realize they've taken too much stuff.
More than you told them to.
Yes.
Okay.
Realize, and I'm really against storage. Like people say, "Oh, well, I'll just put it in storage. I can't use it now, but when are you going to use it?"
Right.
And it's
the attic, but you're paying for it.
And it's going to cost you more. Well, the attic's in your own house.
That's right.
You got to pay for storage.
Right. Yeah.
And the storage is just going to sit there and just cost you money for years.
And give more stuff for your kids to deal with when you're gone.
Your kids don't want anything. And you want a takeaway? Your kids don't want anything.
Literally.
Literally, don't save it.
Yep.
Your kids don't want brown furniture. They use paper plates.
Right.
They don't even many of them don't have dining room tables.
Right.
They don't want, and they don't want anything.
My mother gave me, what are the expensive plates? I forgot I'll think of it in a moment, but had the gold trim on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't put it in the
Can't put it in the
dishwasher.
dishwasher.
So I don't want this stuff.
Like crystal.
Right,
Who
like
want
crystal.
you can't, people,
Right?
yeah.
So who wants this? And my mother said, take it. It was a nice white contemporary set, which was my taste. And she bought this really ugly set instead. And she said, I don't said, well, you can have it. I said, I don't want it. You have to take it. I don't want you have it's sitting in my house now. So we downsized, moved downstairs. My daughter's living in the upstairs. It's still in the kitchen cabinet. It's the very top back cabinet over the refrigerator, the one you never use that stuff, especially when you're 5'3" like me. And so it's sitting back there. It's sitting back there for them to sit there and throw out sometime in the future. And
so your daughter could let it go.
So she can let it go. Yeah, but she doesn't know what's up there. She doesn't see that high.
Oh.
So she doesn't have as many dishes as we did. So I don't think she'll ever get to that cabinet. We moved and just left it there.
Yeah.
And it's now her problem.
No, it's just, I honestly wake up in the morning purging. Every morning I throw stuff out. And I encourage people, anytime you bring anything into the house, throw something out.
I subscribe to I have ADHD, and I listen to an ADHD podcast. And twice a year, this woman, for her clients, does this. I think it's done internationally, or whatever. The 1 item a day on day 1 for a month, and then 2 items on day 2, 3 items on day 3. I try to get my wife to participate before we're moving. So at the end, he's throwing out like 258 items or whatever it comes out to.
That's good.
And it was, they said, I don't care if it's a rubber band. You can make your decision, whatever it is, whatever your rules are. Does it have to be bigger than a pound? It doesn't matter. You make your own rules.
I think that's wonderful.
And it's a really good way to live your life. You quite frankly could do this month after month after month. Don't go, don't start at 31, 32, 33 things a day. But if you start every month, 1 thing, the second's 2 things, the third thing's 3 things.
Just think about when we walk into houses with people with kids or grandchildren, the amount of toys it takes over.
My apartment, because the kids just go through the laundry room and they're up place. Now the 2 little do it on their own. They're 1.5 and 3, but I see it when my daughter comes down with the kids. She leaves a trail behind her, and I try to get all that stuff put away. We now live in an apartment. There's no hiding anymore.
Right.
So I feel that pain way too much. I don't have any tolerance for that stuff. Also, I like kids when they're a little bit older anyway. If I can have a conversation with them, all right. But if they can't talk to me, I don't know. That is what it is.
You got to get on the floor and play.
I got to get on the floor. Then you got to get up off the floor.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yes. So I agree with you. Try to throw, if you can get rid of an item a day, it's so easy. But again, if you do 1 item day 1, 2 items day 2, 3 items day 3, that's a lot of items at the end. You do that for a few months in a row.
I like that idea.
Yeah. And again, I don't care if you could spend 1 month or 3 months cleaning out your junk drawer in your kitchen if you want. And I would say, well, just throw 20 things. Say, no, it's a discipline. If you maintain the discipline, you will do it. If you start doing it arbitrarily, you're not going to do it.
It's a routine.
It's a routine.
Good. Yeah.
So I think everyone should do that, quite frankly, all the time. So
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Let's start something.
Let's start and make it a national campaign.
Yeah.
That's it. So,
all right. What are we doing next Tuesday?
Well, that's it. We've got to get some posters.
Yeah.
My son would laugh at me. Posters, who prints anything today? So, but with that said, go ahead. You want to say something?
No.
Oh. You print them.
Hopefully people print something. Yeah.
My son lived in Manhattan for 4 years without having a piece of paper or a pencil. Then his girlfriend went to get her MBA, and so she needed a printer to start doing stuff for school. So they had to buy a ream of paper and a printer. But he didn't even have a pencil. He says, I don't write anything. They don't get mail. They get no mail.
Really?
They get no mail.
How about junk mail?
They don't get junk mail. I don't understand it. They're not anywhere. No one knows they exist. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Wow.
I'd say that you can judge a person's age, and you can judge a tree, how old the tree is, by the rings, in the tree when you cut it. You can judge a person's age by how much mail they get in their mailbox. The older you are, the more mail you get.
Interesting.
Because young people get little mail, in his case, no mail. Older people are on a lifetime of mailing lists.
Right. So
my in-laws, when they lived with us, our mailbox was too small. It was constantly stuffed with mail, which 90% was theirs. Out of the 90% of that was garbage.
Right.
We got 10%.
That you got to throw out every day.
Every day. Recycle. So
recycle.
Yeah. But that's my theory, that you can judge a person's age by the amount of mail in the mailbox.
I like that.
So my son should be 0.
I'm learning a lot from you.
You're learning a lot. It's mutual. It's mutual. But anyway, let's talk How do people typically get hold of you, by the way? How do they know that you exist?
So usually it's a referral.
Okay.
Usually it's people I'm doing this a long time, and people that place people or elder law attorneys many times.
Oh, very good.
Or movers will refer me, or real estate brokers will refer me, or real estate people, but most of the time it is referrals. I do have a website and I do network, and I talk to people, but most of the time it's referrals. And I have a lot of repeat business, like, that I moved.
Really?
I moved somebody and I got to move again, or their cousin, or you moved my mother 10 years ago, or my neighbor, or
Right. That's the best, because you come in with real credibility, because it's personal to them. So that's the best. I mean, I can't think of a better business than getting referrals.
Yeah, no, I got this morning from somebody that going Manhattan on Friday, and it's somebody, and she says, send me a contract, I'll write you a check. I said, wait a minute, I don't know how, it's like it's done.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So now we know how the people who know you and referred you get hold of you. How do people get hold of you who don't know you?
Through Larry.
That's one way. Through Larry. That's one way. It's mutual, yes.
Through my website.
Which is?
Hello.
Anyone there?
Anybody there? Yeah. www.anustartny.com.
That's it. Perfect. A new start.
newyork.com. It's also, you could pull up ANEW. I own both of them.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. So in case you don't know how to spell new.
So new smart, literally.
A new start, New York.
A new start, yeah.
And it's ANU or ANEW. Either one will come up.
Very good.
Yeah.
And email address, phone number, what's the other way?
Barbara.
Okay.
At
anewstartnewyork.com. Very good.
And best thing is my cell, 917-656-6685.
917-656-6685. Okay, you can rewind it if you want to write that down.
917-656-6685, and I text.
And you text.
I text.
The client's kids text.
Oh, no, a lot of clients text. Yeah, okay. yeah. Most people have cell phones nowadays.
Okay. Cell phones.
Even people in their 90s.
They have cell phones, but they don't always text.
No. Yeah. No, I just had a 100-year-old lady that did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it does happen.
That's
I don't know
very
if
cool.
she knew what she was doing, but
There you go. I don't know what she was doing. It was gibberish, but she texted. A whole lot of letters came through. But that's very funny.
No, it's really it is really quite amazing. Some of the older people that I see, and I ask them all the time, "What's your secret?" And like I've gotten answers like, "Well, I get a massage once a week," or my secret religion is exercise, or I have a glass of wine every day at 5:00, or, and everybody's got their own secret to aging, and some people have no secret. It's just.
Oh, thank God, because I had none of those. I was getting worried.
No, you have to have your own.
You have to have my own. Mine's woodworking. Okay. I love working and woodworking. And they both have the word working in them.
Okay.
So that's me. That's what keeps me going. I was just watching a podcast, YouTube video about retirement. Not that I plan on retiring, but and he was saying that the downfalls of retirement are XYZ. Hit 7 downfalls. He says, and since he retired, he says he finds his memory's not as good. He's not as sharp. He's great with numbers. Now suddenly he's not good with numbers anymore. I spent my whole life working in numbers, but I don't do it every day, and I find myself losing it. So he's doing puzzles and stuff, and just to try to keep your brain sharp.
Keep you going.
Yeah.
I do crosswords.
There you go. There you go. I'm more of a numbers guy than a word guy.
Yeah, but I think as long as you keep learning, keep going. Right. So you got to keep moving so old age can't catch up.
So it can't catch up. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, move your brain, move your body. You just got to keep moving.
Yep. I tell people my goal is to retire and work 30 to 40 hours a week in retirement. That's my goal. I figure most people work 40 hours a week and then they retire. They have 40 more hours to play. I work 90 hours a week. So if I go to 40 hours a week, I'll have 50 more hours a week to play. That's more retirement for me than it is for most people.
And what are you going to do with those? You're going to do woodworking?
Woodworking.
Okay.
I do it now, but I make toys that I donate. I'll just make that many more toys.
Okay.
So that's it.
Cool.
Maybe I'll actually see my wife.
That'd
Maybe
be
talk
nice.
to my grandkids when they can speak.
That'd be nice.
Something.
So by the time you're there, they'll.
I'm working on it. I feel it's a few years, but bless you.
Thank you.
It'll take a
That's
few
the
years for me to
truth.
work my way down. That's it. But anyway, I gotta tell you, it's a lovely, lovely pleasure having you on today.
Yes.
And thank you for joining.
Really enjoyed this.
Me
Really,
too.
really, really enjoyed this. And if you want to make your life easier,
Yes.
call me.
Call you. Thank you, Barbara Feldman.
917-656-6685.
That's why you did so well selling wire and cable. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Unlocking Senior Resources podcast by Leave the Key. If you've enjoyed this episode or found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast. We specialize in working with seniors who are transitioning out of their homes, and we understand what you are going through. So if you are considering selling your home and would like an alternative to the traditional overwhelming process, reach out to see how we can help. When working with us, you can sell your home in its current condition, there is no need to remove unwanted items, and you control when the house is sold, along with so many other advantages. Visit leavethekey.com or call us at 631-388-7771 to learn more about our senior home buying process.